Today, my mother exercised right now inside of the kitchen, a chair, purr, like a dog. This is what she was playing all the time whenever I wrote about the truth about this Satan that I don't say. And so today, she exercised based on MK Ultra scenario a suicide she threatened to it. Um, exactly identically to MK Ultra scenario, she threatened to it a suicide. It would be a suicide, that she would drink something and I would find her dead downstairs in the uh, where she had with the sister um, a picture, candles and stuff like that. This was her way of doing it. Now the time was exactly 6 o'clock when she came out of the bed to wake me up. Uh, Yesterday I did wrote on the blogger that she was the one who poisoned my father, and she did everything she possibly could to get me killed just as well. She got father inside of the home for elderly people, and it's hard to imagine Lucifer, like my mother, more to be satanic than what she is. I cannot call her a mom. There is no way. This is an evil that is unheard of. Let's go see this bitch. If she is dead, on the other hand, Natasha Pierce-Musser told her, if it's gonna be something like this, she will spend time in the jail and there will be no fake death certificate. They told her, if things are gonna turn this way, things are gonna turn bad for her. I got sleep 3 hours, let's say. Let's go see this bitch. Murderous swine. She did not even go downstairs. She's there, browsing the internet. Kaj, si me zbudila, kaj je? Aha, tu je vse, kar je. Tam si prišla v kuhno razbijati, dobro, ok. She seems to be alive and well. She, as I come here to see where the mother is, she made sure she would put the water all over the place here in front of the father's room, you know. Let me see this. She is so fucking sick that it's horrible. No, it's not water. I'm thinking, what the fuck is it? Because it sounds when I come there. It's a sound like it's a paddle of water. You see? Um, to remind me of the piss. That means that father is gonna come home. I was sure that is because this is the only way. As you come here, you step here like this to open, right? So as you come here like this is how you come through the door, like this. Then you turn this way. That's how you step on that stuff right there. They practice with the police absolutely everything to intimidate, to instigate a crime. Absolutely everything. She's placing right there. Says you have chocolates. You have a chocolates here. This is she would put the chocolates, and that's a picture, and that's what I'm supposed to feel or paranoid about. The stuff I have written about today in the morning, it's too disturbing. That's what I should be worrying about, whether I am actually admiring the loss of my sister, and for the camera's sake, because she claimed there will be cameras and that she will be watching me and stuff like this. She's a fucking nut. Here you have some chocolates, and then there is a relax. She had here relax. She had relax here written, and she had here how she's paying the bills, everything she's paying. That's why when mama, everything is thanks to the mama. Slovenian state have used her to destroy me 53 years of life and to destroy me kidneys and liver. What a fucking beast this shit is. It's unheard of. Oh, they practiced with the burgers here, with the burger Miroslav, with the Aleš, claiming me that is the sister that's gonna move to them, and they will have the system, they will be surveillancing the room. They demonstrated me, what the fuck they demonstrated me? Well, this is not difficult. You take a tripod and you video record the fucking room from a different angles, and then you take the guy inside of the room and you say to him, oh look, we have cameras inside. When he is drugged up, you're demonstrating him stuff like this. It's a fucking garbage. It's a trash. That's what they were doing. This is what they were playing with. This is what their schizophrenia was based upon. And the same shit pertained to the Peterlin over there, to the Peterlin residents. The same stuff. Sick. Sicker than sick shit. Either this or they really had cameras. Either this or they really had cameras. One or the other. Maybe even both. I don't know how you would have a politicians and people coming inside of the house without one being video surveillance. Can get Putin and Biden and Trump and Obama and Bush and Carter and all these people coming to Slovenia like this, in this kind of location like that, without video recording them clearly. You cannot release the videos and stuff unless they give you a permission, unless the US government gives you a permission. They were here on more occasions than what I can count. This became for them established, the most established foreign route, basically. It's the reason why it was Slovenia. It's right next to Italy and Austria, already during the Cold War, during the Soviet Union.
And there comes the old and new president, and vice versa. Who knows? Maybe Trump is going to return the presidency to Joe Biden in whatever year. Look, here is everything stuff I have video recorded have pertained to. Entire incident is described in English language. To me, this is a sick stuff to talk about. For me, this is it's sick. I feel sick. I don't feel good very well today. And you put this, you go over this part, you put this in pause, and you will read this and you will understand everything I wanted to say downstairs and upstairs and the whole thing. This is how police was playing with. This is what they were doing. This is how they wanted to do. And the issue of my sister is directly tied also to Sonja Kotar. Sonja Kotar had a medical problem that dragged and dragged and dragged for many years. Doctor, in parentheses, Dr. Igor Kotar was the one who insisted me that I'm going to have to leave him alone once the Sonja Kotar is out of the picture, his wife. If I'm not going to leave him alone, that he will destroy me, etc., etc. He already made an arrangement during MK Ultra. We'll move from Krka village to Kočevje. He's not going to stay here. He already made an agreement with his relatives over there at Kočevje and will disappear from here at just about any day. He was the one who administered, together with the mother, my health literally through the poisoning since 2020 in real time. And he was present, doctor like the one in Auschwitz, Igor Kotar. He participated in poisoning inside of the in torture inside of this house pertaining to the food poisoning issues since 1987, when I entered the second grade of the high school. They started to play with the food and measure whatever they measured. With time, as it became extremely efficient, using they were using anywhere from gadgets to measure whatever they measured, whatever the smartwatches measure. And on a regular basis during MK Ultra, I was taken to the hospital, General Hospital Novo Mesto, where Dr. Igor Kotar had access to the lab's ability to examine the blood, did the blood tests, and so on during MK Ultra. This animal, so to speak, animal, basically a real animal. You don't get to see shit like this on a movies, literally on a horror movies or movies about the World War II. This animal administered was always present inside the house whenever police barricaded itself with a psychiatrist cop inside. And they enforced this food testing, poisoning to see the results, to get the results they wanted. And the results they wanted are really evident. They're not difficult to acknowledge. So my sister and Sonja Kotar are two possibly even corpses that they sacrificed for the police sake, for the Slovenia sake, whatever fucking sake. It just rings to me too much, his death threats in respect to his wife, Sonja Kotar, that I would miss on mentioning this stuff. She did have health problems that dragged for her for I don't know how many years. She have a well-established medical record experiencing problems. I remember because she was changing her medications and stuff like this. Listen, I didn't meet this lady since 2012 when she assisted my parents and my niece, Urška Golob Weber, with her husband, Mitja Weber, based on the torture procedures which they engaged in for 2 months before this incident even took place, more than 2 months, advise me on, if I don't know, I'm not at home here, etc., in a peak summer heat, working inside of the room, doing my stuff with so many other locations they could go to, with nothing to live for. Asking them to leave was used by the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje, I should say, by Slovenian justice system, with also what were claims about physical violence done to my father and to my mother, obviously, and I don't know, to my niece, to her husband, to my sister. That's what they wanted. Dumped inside of the psychiatric hospital. No such thing exists other than my having proof about being physically attacked by my mother. I was the one who went to the police station and demonstrated injury to police. Just for the CD, for DVD to be confiscated by police, stolen, and received a letter where it was stated that it was too late that I reported the incident and there was therefore nothing they could do about it. This is the way this stuff was done. This is the way this stuff was done. The difference between Milan Kučan, Lojze Peterle, Igor Baučar, Janez Janša, and especially Aleš Hojs, there was none. There was no difference between these people. These people could stop this if they wanted to, long time ago, no less when it was Slovenian independence, but was not in their interest. It was not in the interest of the so-called Slovenian nation. It was too lucrative, it was too good, almost too good to be true. And so they continued without a chance of losing anything, is what went on to systematically murder on behalf of British royals, on behalf of Kremlin. It was Kremlin who demanded killing. It was. The Kremlin was the one. Belgrade and Moscow were the one that initiated this ritualism. It was. They initiated it. But over the course of the time, it became indifferent between the two sides, between United States and Russia, between Serbia and Britain, between these people. There was no difference in between because they all had one interest, and that's basically to get rid of me. And nobody had bigger interest than this fucking Slovenia here. Nobody had bigger interest. You want to read this lunacy? This is not straight out of the Hollywood movie. This is the fact. These are facts. Aleš Hojs, who was invited by Donald Trump, stated me, well, I am gonna stop this because it's too precious, this stuff they were doing during MK Ultra. It's too good to miss on it. It's too good to miss on it. It's very important for us to have this kind of document about what they were doing to you. Yeah, what it was all about, what they were doing to you. Your kidney, your liver is gonna fall apart anyway. This is the explanation I got from this dear leader, Aleš Hojs, who worked in Belgrade and cheered himself, promoted himself during MK Ultra as American spy. Come on, don't make me sick with this kind of statements. There was no American and Russian in my case. Whatever it pertained to me, it might be in the case of Ukraine. We still don't know. It might be, it might eventually be, and probably is. But when it comes to my case, there was none. It was not about Joe Biden, but it was about all other presidents that functioned together with Joe Biden. It was all about United States of America, collective conscience as a nation, national conscience. Slovenia could never do any of this without the United States of America, where I became a citizen in the year 2000. That's 25 years ago I became a citizen in the US. So even citizen I became, naturalized citizen. So Slovenia was not hijacking me from United States of America. It was a Central Intelligence Agency. It was Federal Bureau investigation. So this stuff to be very, very important for me to be clarified, so there won't be, you know, when you do the stuff like this, based on this stuff here that you see, this, there is no need for me to take a chance and throw entire thing and claim that my sister is not dead and the Sonja Kotar is not dead. I'm not fucking doing that kind of stuff. They were playing with this stuff, with my sister even claiming that she will sacrifice herself. Do I believe that either of the two is dead? No, I do not believe. I do not believe, and I swear to God, for as long as I will live, it will stay like this. And if I ever made it through this, I'm going to dispatch police, military, wherever the fuck it takes, just as was dispatched after Slobodan Milosevic, after Karadzic. The same way is how I will do my stuff. I will pay whatever the fuck it takes to get their heads on a court. Too much damage they have done to me for way too long. So I don't agree with it. I don't agree with any of this violence. I'm not you, and you're not mine, and you're not I. I did more than what was expected it would ever come out. I did the whole thing. The whole thing was explained. How it functioned, who did it, why it did it, etc., etc., etc. The whole thing. I don't need this. I got too many proofs about whatever the fuck I stated. I didn't state to lie. I had no need to lie about anything. They, however, do. They know about the stuff I have stated. My neighbors, nothing would have happened without so-called neighbors. They were a core of this crime. They were a kingpin of this crime. They were the main engine behind the Milan Kucan. They were the main engine behind this genocide. They were powered by Ljubljana, by Borut Pahor, by Tanja Fajon, by the scum that finally came out. It looks less likely that these were the people who enforced this kind of stuff if you bring them out. The thing is, the Slovenian state monitored everything. They monitored everything. They had these proofs. There was no need for any of this stuff, for which they claim it had to come out of your mouth and so on. Charles evaluated all this stuff with American politicians, created a round of criminals that are going to pledge that it was necessary, this kind of stuff. But from my point of view, it was not. That's all I have to say. I lost 53 years of life with a King Charles now, Prince Charles previously, insisting me that he will not believe me, that I am worthy, that I am a fighter, till I'm gonna actually fight with a cancer. What kind of friend the fuck is this? He was the one who was claiming me, when you get a cancer, that's when we're gonna see who you really are, if you really are a fighter or not. Fucking British animal. This Lucifer, this one here, Igor Kotar, this scumbag was so afraid of me that is unbelievable. This man started to lose the sleep after I started to point finger at him. He started to lose sleep after I started to point finger at him about his MK Ultra involvement, about what he was involved in. I don't see his name. Imenik sodnih izvedencev. Milan Kucan deputized this scumbag, the so-called neighbor, to be a court trial professional evaluator, obviously, of crime cases that it concerned. This shit, it was not only my case, this shit was involved in a lot of crimes. This is a serial killer, this Dr. Igor Kotar. He is responsible, he is accountable also for other crimes. This is not the only case they had in Slovenia. They had cases in Ljubljana, they had cases in Celje, they had cases in Kran, in Brežice and so on. Miroslav Berger, attorney here, the neighbor, traveled like crazy together with this guy. And Metod Yerman, more than anybody. That's another criminal just one house away from here. This was the original criminal I suggested for Igor Juršić. I suggested for this garbage here, present director of the Novo Mesto police station. I suggested for him that he was shooting people in Croatia and in Bosnia. Well, the one who incited him, the one who brainwashed him, and there is no reason that I would not believe, based on my witnessing even, how he was taking action with the Serbs, how he was very decisive. Whenever he would deliver me, he wanted to pose like a leader. You know, he acted like a leader. He would take initiative. He wasn't only waiting for something to be told. This was the guy I had no reason not to believe he executed people. He's one house away from here. His name is Metod Yerman, a very good friend, a very close friend with the Arkan, a very close friend with the Serbian mafia, with the Serbian underground. This was the guy who was delivering gangsters and all kinds of people here. This is a higher police investigator here from Novo Mesto, and also a killer. In my eyes, this was the main initiator of Slovenian police being involved in shooting and killing in Croatia and Bosnia. This was the guy. Zavajati in Slovenian language means to deception, misleading. He misled people. Igor Juršić was not such an animal. I don't think he was an animal so much like this guy here next door. But Igor Juršić didn't need much to commit crimes. I got angry, pissed off with these Croats once they started to tap one on his shoulders and stuff like that. I said to myself, well, Croats, I said to myself, fuck you. If you don't recognize who this guy is, then you don't need me anywhere. If you, and they did, saw me, he was using the infiltrators, Croatian infiltrators, to infiltrate himself into Croatian circles. Sometimes in 1995, he started to be pro-Croatian and stuff like this. Bullshit. He was using a group of people that was presenting me as an enemy of the Croats and him as a real friend. So when it comes to the stuff like this, I figure out, well, I said to myself, if you Croats don't know me, then I'm going to say to you, fuck you. This Zagreb is up to no good, it never was. This is why things turn out to be this way, foremost because of the Croats. I supported the Croats, and criminals involved in this case figure out that it is enough to just place on a Facebook profile Croatian flag next to their faces, and they're gonna be all forgiven, or Ukrainian for that matter. That's how far this shit went, for all the crime involved in. That's how far this stuff went. So this is exactly the Slovenian police. That's exactly how they do it. That was our house. This is his new house he created. And that right there is the house of his brother. There are two brothers. Metod Yerman is his name. This was the original thug, the original gangster. Right behind him is Igor Kotar right there, who was just as original. Older man, more original than this guy. This was the guy who Basically, there is nothing to say. It's enough that I say Igor Kotar. That's all there is to it. You know, there's enough. There is nothing. And this here is a Miroslav Berger. You know, and that's a Peterlin right there. So that's how they operate it. That's how they do this stuff. A lot of death threats I got. A lot of intimidation I got. I got all kinds of threats, all kinds of stuff. This stuff was not for free. Finally, torture inside of the village, throughout the village, was astronomical, with people completely siding with these people. Nobody would ever take my side or anything because people obviously couldn't. Some people that were on my side, they couldn't take the side with me because there is nothing else to say here.